Today, I turn 54. Tomorrow, if I'm lucky, I'll be one day wiser than I am today. But today, on my birthday, I want to share with you 54 things I've learned in my 54 years on this planet. Some of these lessons came early and easy. Others took decades and cost me everything I had to learn. All of them have shaped who I am and how I see the world. Before we start, tell me where you're listening from in the comments. Maybe you're younger than me and wondering what wisdom actually looks like after half a century of living. Maybe you're older and nodding along with lessons you've learned yourself. Maybe you're my age and realizing that wisdom isn't about having all the answers. It's about finally asking better questions. These aren't business lessons or productivity tips, though some might apply to those areas. These are life lessons, human lessons. The kind of wisdom that only comes from making mistakes, surviving failures, celebrating victories, losing people you love, finding people you didn't know you needed, and slowly, gradually, learning what actually matters. Some of these will resonate with you immediately. Others might not make sense until you've lived a little more. That's okay. Wisdom isn't a race. It's not something you achieve and then you're done. It's something you accumulate, day by day, choice by choice, experience by experience. So here they are, 54 things I've learned in 54 years of being human. 1, your parents were just making it up as they went along too. And the sooner you realize this, the sooner you can forgive them for not being perfect and start taking responsibility for your own life. 2, most people who give you advice haven't done what you're trying to do. Listen politely, but trust your own judgment about your own life. 3, being right isn't the same as being effective. You can win the argument and lose the relationship. You can prove your point and accomplish nothing. 4, loneliness is not about being alone. Some of the loneliest people I know are surrounded by others all the time. Some of the most content people I know spend most of their time by themselves. 5, your first reaction to bad news is rarely your best reaction. Sleep on it, walk on it, think on it, then respond. 6, most of your worries will never happen, and the things that do happen usually aren't the things you worried about. 7, energy is more important than time. You can have all the time in the world, but if you don't have energy, you won't accomplish anything meaningful. 8, people remember how you made them feel long after they forget what you said. This is true in business, in relationships, in every interaction that matters. 9, the hardest person to forgive is yourself, but until you do, you'll keep making the same mistakes for the same reasons. 10, your 20s are for exploring. Your 30s are for building. Your 40s are for leading. Your 50s are for wisdom. Don't try to skip ahead or stay behind. 11, most problems solve themselves if you don't interfere. Not all problems, but most. Sometimes the best action is patient inaction. 12, you can't save people from themselves. You can love them, support them, and be there for them, but you can't want their happiness more than they do. 13, compound interest works on everything, not just money. Knowledge, relationships, habits, reputation, they all compound over time. 14, the person you marry will either make your life significantly better or significantly worse. There's no neutral. Choose very, very carefully. 15, children don't need perfect parents. They need present parents. They need consistent parents. They need parents who love them more than they love being right. 16, every expert was once a beginner. Every master was once a disaster. Everyone you admire started somewhere and sucked at it first. 17, your health is not negotiable. Without it, nothing else matters. With it, everything is possible. 18, most people are doing the best they can with what they know and what they have. This doesn't excuse harmful behavior, but it helps explain it. 19, the things you're most afraid of are usually the things you most need to do. Fear is often a compass pointing toward growth. 20, you don't have to have an opinion about everything. I don't know, is a perfectly acceptable answer. I haven't thought about that is fine too. 21. Quality is always better than quantity. Better to have 5 deep friendships than 50 shallow ones. Better to read 5 books thoroughly than 50 books superficially. 22. Your reputation is built slowly and can be destroyed quickly. Guard it carefully, but don't be paralyzed by protecting it. 23. Most opportunities look like work. The best opportunities often look like the hardest work. That's why they're available. 24. You become what you think about most. Choose your thoughts as carefully as you choose your friends. 25. Everyone is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Be kind, be patient, be understanding. You don't know what someone else is carrying. 26. The goal isn't to live forever. The goal is to create something that will. 27. Your values only matter when they cost you something. When living by your principles is easy, they're not really being tested. 28. Most communication problems are really listening problems. People don't need you to solve their problems. They need you to understand their problems. 29. Failure is feedback, not a verdict. Every failure teaches you something about what doesn't work, which brings you closer to finding what does. 30. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control what you do about what happens to you. This is the foundation of all personal power. 31. The right decision isn't always the popular decision. Leadership often means doing what's right instead of what's easy. 32. Money doesn't solve money problems. If you can't manage $1,000, you can't manage $1 million. The problem isn't the amount, it's the management. 33. You don't need everyone to like you. You need the right people to respect you. There's a difference. 34. Perfectionism is procrastination in disguise. Done is better than perfect. Perfect is the enemy of good. 35. Your comfort zone is not your friend. Nothing interesting happens inside your comfort zone. All growth happens outside it. 36. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. This applies to everything you've been putting off. 37. Most successful people are not naturally confident. They've just learned to act despite their fear. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's action in the presence of fear. 38. You can't think your way into a new way of acting, but you can act your way into a new way of thinking. Sometimes you have to fake it until you make it. 39. The people who mind don't matter, and the people who matter don't mind. This is true about your quirks, your ambitions, your choices, and your boundaries. 40. Gratitude is the most powerful emotion. It changes your brain chemistry, your relationships, and your perspective on everything. 41. You don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. Life doesn't automatically reward good people. You have to advocate for yourself. 42. Every ending is also a beginning. When one door closes, another opens. But you have to stop staring at the closed door to see the open one. 43. Your first instinct is usually right. Your second guessing is usually wrong. Trust your gut more than you trust your overthinking. 44. The most important conversations are the ones you have with yourself. The voice in your head is the most influential voice in your life. Make sure it's encouraging, not destructive. 45. You can't pour from an empty cup. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary. You can't give what you don't have. 46. Most regrets are about things you didn't do, not things you did. The pain of discipline weighs ounces. The pain of regret weighs tons. 47. Your network is your net worth, but not in the way most people think. It's not about using people, it's about serving people. When you help others succeed, you succeed. 48. The grass isn't greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. Focus on improving your own situation instead of envying others. 49. You don't need more motivation. You need better systems. Motivation gets you started. Habits keep you going. 50. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra. Excellence is not a skill, it's an attitude. It's deciding to do a little more than required. 51. Your pain is not your purpose, but it can become your platform. The things that hurt you most can become the things that help others most. 52. Time heals most wounds, but not all of them. Some scars stay with you forever. That's okay. Scars are proof that you survived something that tried to destroy you. 53. The best investment you can make is in yourself. Education, health, relationships, experiences. These pay dividends for the rest of your life. 54. Life is not a dress rehearsal. This is it. This is your one chance to be human, to love, to create, to contribute, to matter. Don't waste it waiting for permission or perfect conditions. These 54 lessons didn't come to me in a book or a seminar. They came through living, through making mistakes and learning from them, through succeeding and understanding why, through loving and losing and finding love again, through building things and watching them fail and building them better. Some of these lessons I learned early and have been applying for decades. Others I learned recently, and I'm still figuring out how to live by them. Some I learned the hard way through pain, failure, and loss. Others I learned the easy way through observation, reading, and listening to people wiser than me. But all of them have one thing in common. They're not just things I know intellectually. They're things I've internalized through experience. They're not just facts in my head, they're truths in my bones. I share them with you, not because I think you should live by my lessons, but because I hope they might help you recognize your own. Because wisdom isn't something you can transfer from one person to another like money or information. Wisdom is something each person has to discover for themselves. My 54 lessons might not be your 54 lessons. That's okay. That's how it should be. Your life is different from mine. Your challenges are different. Your opportunities are different. Your lessons will be different too. But maybe some of these resonate with something you've experienced. Maybe some of them help you make sense of something you've been through. Maybe some of them give you language for something you felt but couldn't articulate. And maybe, just maybe, some of them help you avoid a mistake I had to make to learn them. As I start my 55th year, I know I still have more to learn than I've already learned. I know I'll make new mistakes and discover new truths. I know life will surprise me in ways I can't anticipate and teach me lessons I can't imagine. That's the beautiful thing about being human. The learning never stops, the growing never ends. Every day is an opportunity to become a little wiser, a little kinder, a little more effective at being the person you're meant to be. So here's to 54 years of lessons learned and mistakes survived. Here's to the people who taught me, the experiences that shaped me, and the choices that made me who I am today. And here's to whatever lessons year 55 has in store. Share this with someone who might need to hear these lessons. Subscribe if these conversations help you think differently about wisdom and living. And remember, your life is your curriculum. Pay attention to what it's trying to teach you. What's the most important lesson you've learned so far? What wisdom would you add to this list? What are you still trying to figure out? The best education happens not in classrooms, but in life. The best teachers are not in books, but in experiences. The best lessons are not in lectures, but in living. Happy birthday to me. Happy learning to all of us. What will you learn today?